Good peace and welcome back to a very special video. And yes, I am saying welcome back because not exactly, but about a year ago, I sat here and I was planning to do something very special for that 2018 New Year's resolution. One of the things that I was going to do was read more books. The second thing I was going to do was to do more different kinds of self-help, like meditating and stuff. And the third, which was the one I ended up doing the most, or taking the most serious, was to draw every single day, or not even draw every single day. I wanted to draw 365 drawings because I knew I wouldn't be able to do it every day, but I wanted a drawing for every day of the year. Now obviously I failed that challenge, but I still ended up, if we put this in here, this is my archive that I've collected throughout this year. 277 drawings made, 277 files are in this gigantic archive. So it's gonna be interesting seeing how I made progress. Hopefully I did make progress. I don't really know because I haven't really looked at these files since I just, put them away in this archive. So it's gonna be interesting looking back on these. And I'm gonna be going through the whole thing, but you're not gonna be able to see 277 drawings. So I'm just gonna go through what I think is the most important ones. And don't mind that they're all named some stupid shit. I ran out of ideas. So the first drawing that we have in here is Ozen the Morning Sovereign. Oh, this is right after I watched Made in Abyss, wasn't it? Ah, here it is. Oh my god, I put so much effort into this. That's always how it is when you start off with like a New Year's resolution. You kind of like start with that hype, you're very interested, you want to get into it, and then the hype and the enthusiasm for the entire idea kind of dies down. But what really makes character in like doing such a New Year's resolution or pulling through with it is that you keep doing it, despite how low the quality of the drawings are gonna get, and you're gonna see that the drawings are like they're gonna get worse and worse when it just comes to amount of time and detail put into them. But that's also why this one ended up looking pretty good actually. Just because I put so much, it took me like freaking 2 hours to make this. If not more, I don't know. God, that was long ago. Even though this is only the second drawing and I'm already talking about it, then I wanted to mention this one because it clearly shows a bunch of stuff that I've gotten better at throughout this year, I think, which is line confidence. You can see here, I almost just drew every single little line with just like kind of strokes, and that ended up creating it didn't really get through that shape language that's so present in Hollow Knight. But I still like how I mixed up the design though. And I challenged myself a little bit with the perspective. That's cool. Oh yeah, this one took a long time. And I can't even say that it's actually a pretty good drawing. Obviously there's some stuff wrong with the face and stuff, but I remember that I literally just took a frame from the series Made in Abyss. It's one of my favorite animes. It's just such a unique setting for an anime. But I wanted to draw it, so I basically just took a frame from that and used it as reference, and then I just tried to... I wasn't tracing or anything, I was just trying to replicate it as well as I could, and it turned out pretty well, even though it took like... I think this is one of the most sped up videos I ever made because it took me like 4 hours to draw. January 19th, almost through the first month, and then we get to like the first drawing I uploaded on DeviantArt. I wanted to upload more of the stuff I did on DeviantArt, but I don't know, I don't know, I never really got to it. I wanted to challenge myself by drawing the arm like pointing directly at the camera. It's funny because I remember every single like process that went through my head, and I really like the shady style of Darkest Dungeon. This is a boss from Darkest Dungeon, that game. I could have done better with the shading, but I really like how I still committed to the like completely black shading. And even though this is kind of sketchy and improvised, this still turned out pretty good, This isn't the worst thing ever. It's alright. Anatomy practice, and there's nothing in... Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Because I remember, like, I don't do it that much anymore. I really should do it again. But back then I, like, looked at websites, with different pictures of people posing, and then drew their skeleton or something. And I watched a bunch of videos on different ways to draw anatomy or get the idea of anatomy in your head, because that's one of the main goals I had for that year. I knew the progress was going to be slow, but I wanted to get as good at anatomy as possible, and that's also the thing that I focused on the most throughout the year. This isn't horrible posing though. Could have added a bit more detail, but once again it's just a practice, so... Oh, now we're getting back to like some freaking... This looks like something a 12-year-old drew. Oh, that's right. I remember I didn't have terrible much time, So I just wanted to do like a quick sketch or something, but as you can see, I didn't draw any skeleton or something for the Bloodborne Hunter, in case you can tell that this is from Bloodborne. I didn't draw any skeleton for the Bloodborne Hunter, and it doesn't help that Ludwig, or whatever, like the boss I was trying to draw, their anatomy is completely messed up. So I don't know. I still think I did quite well with the perspective, though. It could have been better though. But this just, it's not sketched well. It just looks messy. Ah, right. I remember this. Once again, I tried out many different techniques for getting good at anatomy. I recommend that you do that as well, because every artist has their own way of doing it. You'll also see that on different interviews. People like to draw that, like, stuff different ways, but I heard that there were some people who preferred something called the Coil technique to be able to draw like arms and limbs in perspective. Didn't quite work out for me. It's not the way I prefer to draw or draw right now. It just gets too messy for me, but I don't know, it was still a good experiment. You can see how the quality, it's deteriorating right in front of my eyes. Oh, this is actually, it's kind of, well, it's not, it's not that bad actually, anatomy wise. It could have been much worse. It actually looks fine. I don't know why. What the hell? Is this a pillow or something I drew? I do know what that is. That's my little teddy or something. That's the little teddy bear or something I got, which is actually like a bird. Almost me. Nice. I bet I actually drew this a day I was really tired. Tired. Oh, right. That was something that took me so long to do. Oh my god. I remember I had so much trouble trying to make eyes because, well, you need 2 pair of eyes. But my primary problem was actually replicating or making an eye and then make the other eye look fitting and not end up in the uncanny valley. I wanted to draw good eyes or something that looked like good eyes. So I decided this way, which basically meant that I was gonna draw the lower half and then the upper half of the eye, like, so I would make it out of 2 like half cylinders. And that's kind of an idea I got from Lavender Townie and the way she draws eyes. I took huge inspiration from that. Oh yeah, right. This one's actually pretty good, even though I once again I didn't trace this one. I don't think I ever traced anything just because I knew that the tracing wouldn't really help me get anywhere. But still, I took this straight out of the comic book, or one of the comic books I had. I still think I got through it pretty well. Her arm is kind of off though, but still pretty good though. I drew a lot of these characters. I drew a lot of just because I got where I didn't know what else to draw. And I didn't want to dedicate a lot of time, so once I would doodle, I would literally just end up making some character in a 45 degree... That's one of my primary issues, by the way. That is the 45 degree character. Or it isn't my issue. I can easily draw something in a 45 degree angle. But that's almost my comfort zone. I try, and I'm very self-conscious about if I repeat a pattern too much, so this is... You'll still see me do this a lot when I don't really want to do something new. But this is definitely one of the most common poses you'll see, like just the 45 degree side. Ah, yeah, right. Oh, this was actually pretty good. I kind of like the style I got for this, because what I basically wanted was I don't really like the idea of committing to drawing a comic, but I like the idea of making up a story for a comic or characters for a comic. So basically this comic, I don't remember... Oh yeah, Otherworldly Beats is what I was going to call it, and it was basically just going to be like a band that consisted of different people, whereas this would be Hermes, the son of Zeus, but nobody would know. And he was just kind of be like a douchebag who kind of looked like John Lennon for some reason, but I like that. I like how I also wrote all this different stuff, just to kind of like... It does look kind of like a character sheet. And I remember I put a lot of time into like showing off their different aspects and stuff, because I learned a lot about character design at the moment. This was basically going to be the main character, I remember. And she was basically going to be like she was going to be like a fourth... She was going to be a person who didn't really have any ability, or she didn't think she'd have any ability, but she can interact with the comic. She could basically just like reach her hand through the panels of comics, but you wouldn't think of it as like a superpower, you'd just think it'd be normal, but then people would point out it would be a superpower. She'd basically be the only person who thinks she's like left out and doesn't have any superpower in the group, but she's actually kind of cool because she can interact with the comic. And she also had like a dark past or something. Oh yeah, she was basically like a monster hidden in plain sight, and she would turn into a monster if she got stressed. I remember. Oh yeah, Chad Anderson, assholishly handsome, and one ranking douche name. I literally searched for douchiest names, I remember, and then the first name that came up was Chad. Oh, very nice and not an ass. Yeah, that was basically he was gonna be devilishly handsome, but he was gonna be nice. And then he would also sing, but he would literally turn into his superpower was that he would turn into a black hole, and he would get as dense as a black hole, so he would break the stage and just attract a crowd literally every time he would sing. It was pretty cool and unique, actually. Good job, me. Pat myself on the back. Boy. Cool apps, though. Nice drawing. I still, to this day, cannot draw hands well, but I think that's a challenge for later. Oh yeah, I remember this was actually one of the first times I was really proud that I felt like I kinda nailed anatomy, because it was a very dynamic pose, but I was also very happy with the way the hands looked. Oh, I wish I could draw hands like that. Now, I don't know, I've gotten bad at drawing hands. Or I've always been bad at drawing hands, but I don't know, I was really proud of this one. I remember. That was also another character that was gonna be in some kind of comic or something. Bits from an animatic kind of story video that I never really committed to. Just leave that in the dust. Ah, that's the boss from God of War! Or that's not the boss from God... That's literally just... That's right, I remember I drew this drawing while I was actually kind of angry because we didn't get to fight that thing in the background. Oh, that's right, I was so annoyed by that. It was just another one of those troll things. If you've played God of War, you know the disappointment when you saw that thing in the background and found out that you couldn't interact with it in any way. Oh, god dang it. Hey everyone, Editing Scripts here, sitting at 1:20 AM just to tell you this special little audio bit, and that is that I'm going to split up this episode in two. I was considering whether or not if there was actually going to be enough time to go through the entire library, but I just kind of got lost in it and I just wanted to keep going and keep going. So I just recorded the whole thing, but I am going to split it up because I'm also missing an episode that I can record for one of the days, so I'm going to split this up and then I'll have another video to upload then. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed me sitting here and being all giddy about the progress I made. Sorry, it's just a thing I'm very proud of, that I managed to get through most of the year and still draw so much. And it's good to give yourself a confidence boost and keep reminding yourself that. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.